Today on Riverside Strong, we will learn more about the free screenings provided by Riverside Cancer Care Center and how they are helping to catch this disease in its early stages. We'll also speak with a patient navigator who helps patients with scheduling and planning of the visits and appointments they will have throughout their treatment. We'll gain a better understanding of what is involved in radiation treatments and even learn how the use of robotic technology is helping in the battle against prostate cancer. This and much more on this episode of Riverside Strong.
Adversity, disasters, emergencies, crisis. These are not the things that create character. No, these are the times, the moments that reveal character. You know what it also reveals? Compassion, empathy, humor, creativity, innovation, kindness, perseverance, knowledge, and strength. Perhaps strength most of all. We're Riverside Strong.
Welcome to Riverside Strong. I'm your host, Cheryl Nelson. Today, we will look at an issue that directly impacts men, prostate cancer. Men over the age of 50 are most at risk for prostate cancer, and as it is the second most common form of cancer in men, approximately 1 in 8 men will be affected. When we come back, we will learn just what prostate cancer is as we hear from patients and the medical professionals who help them to navigate their journey. We'll also learn about treatments available and how technology has helped in the fight against this form of cancer. If you or someone you love is facing this battle, this episode is for you.
Strength of a community, strength of family, strength of a team. You will find these strengths at Riverside, where we have built senior living communities, facilities, and services centered around our residents and our patients, where the atmosphere feels more like family than facility, where our care teams are dedicated to you and your loved ones. Our senior living services are designed around you living your best life. Call us or go online to learn more today.
Prostate cancer can be a serious disease, but most men diagnosed with prostate cancer do not die from it. In fact, more than 3.1 million men in the United States who have been diagnosed with prostate cancer at some point are still alive today.
Welcome back to Riverside Strong. We're taking a look at prostate cancer. Because symptoms are not often immediately evident, prostate cancer may not be diagnosed until it's too late. Fortunately, thanks to Riverside Health's screening process, it's now possible to detect prostate cancer and treat it in its early stages.
Prostate cancer is an adenocarcinoma, which is a type of cancer, and this is more common as men age. There are really not too many lifestyle or modifiable factors for prostate cancer other than diets that are high in fat content. Age is definitely a factor. Every decade that you go up, there's a higher incidence of prostate cancer. The lifetime incidence of prostate cancer is around 20%, and there is a slightly higher incidence of prostate cancer in African American men.
The part that was hard was my best friend. He came down with prostate cancer also. He never got tested. He told me, he said, look, this is on me. You make sure you make every treatment So every day he would call me about 3:15. Where you at? I said, I'm leaving my treatments now. My last treatment was a Friday. We were supposed to go out to celebrate. I get a call Monday morning, he passed. But he was there with me the whole way. He wanted to make sure that I got through, and he held on long enough for me to get through.
If you're having signs and symptoms of prostate cancer, that usually would be a sign that it's metastasized. Most prostate cancers are detected just with an abnormal blood test. Occasionally you will find an abnormality on the rectal exam where you're feeling the prostate, but if somebody's having voiding symptoms, lower back pain, those could be signs of a more aggressive or advanced disease. So for patients who are having pelvic pain, lower back pain, voiding symptoms, sometimes those can be signs of more locally aggressive or advanced disease. The indications to do a prostate biopsy are an elevated PSA, an abnormal prostate exam, as well as PSA velocity, which basically just means the rate of change of PSA over time. There are some other more specialized blood tests that they've done to test men for prostate cancer, such as the 4K score and PHI, although PSA remains the gold standard.
My name is D'Angelo Bailey. I was diagnosed with prostate cancer November of 2018. I went in, we tested, did the blood work, did the urine sample. My PSA levels came back extremely high. My daughter was away at school, and she kind of put it together when I told her my PSA levels. We did the CT scan, found out I had a lymph node. We scheduled a biopsy, came back positive. My son, that guy was with me the whole step of the way every day. After I took the first injection, went back in a couple of weeks to retest. My PSA levels dropped from a 25 to a 7. So we did the radiation, it was 10 weeks. We continued with the Lupron injections. I just tested a week ago, and my PSA levels are undetectable. From day one, the staff made the whole process very comforting. I didn't feel like a patient. I felt like a human being, and they were there with me every step of the way. I would tell anybody, please go get tested. Do your screenings, get checkups every 6 months like you're supposed to. I do it religiously now.
Prostate cancer screenings are a critical tool when it comes to diagnosing and treating this type of cancer. And with Riverside Cancer Care Center's free screenings, anyone can be screened regardless of their financial situation. But what do you do if you get a positive diagnosis? Getting this type of news can be devastating and the treatment process overwhelming. When we come back, we'll meet a patient navigator who helps make the process a little less daunting.
We're Riverside Strong. Choosing a healthcare partner is an important decision. At Riverside, we understand that. We also understand what you want and need. Exceptional care, comprehensive services, access to a network of expertly trained medical providers, specialists, and care teams when and where you need it. And most importantly, a team dedicated to partnering with you throughout your journey of lifelong health and wellness. We say partner because at Riverside, we are healthier together. At Riverside, we are here to be your healthcare partner throughout your life. We are here for you, for an annual wellness visit, to help you manage your health conditions, or to figure out your next steps when unexpected situations arise. We are here when and where you need us, even online, offering easy, secure access to your health records, appointment scheduling, video visits, and more. It all starts with choosing Riverside as your healthcare partner. Call or visit us online today.
About 1 man in 8 will be diagnosed with prostate cancer during his lifetime. Prostate cancer is more likely to develop in older men and non-Hispanic Black men. About 6 cases in 10 are diagnosed in men who are 65 or older, and it is rare in men under 40. The average age of men at diagnosis is about 66.
Welcome back to Riverside Strong. Today we shine a light on prostate cancer and how it affects the men who receive this diagnosis. Learning you have cancer can be a very emotional experience. The thought of surgery or radiation can be terrifying, and there are so many questions, starting with, what is the first step? At Riverside Cancer Care Center, you are not alone.
The most difficult thing for the patient sometimes is accepting that diagnosis. It's very overwhelming, and sometimes the patients only hear a fraction of what the doctor had to say. So that's one great thing at Riverside. We do have oncology nurse navigators, and we can sit down with those patients, reiterate what has been said to the patient, and just make them more comfortable so they can move to that next step. Mr. Blackwell had just received a new diagnosis of cancer, and he was overwhelmed.
I never had any issues with cancer, but we had cancer in our family. I went to see my doctor for my regular checkup, and she did some blood work, and she told me my PSA was a little high. After that, she sent me over to my oncologist, and that's when I was diagnosed with stage 2 prostate cancer. When I first got that diagnosis, my biggest fear was dying, because 53, I'm physically fit, I don't feel sick, I'm able-bodied. Now I'm looking at, I'm getting ready to die. I didn't want that. Once I called Riverside, I spoke with Miss Merrick, my little guardian angel. Basically shut me through everything.
We developed a strong bond that day. We talked through all of the options. I offered to set him up with our physicians who perform those treatments. He met with the radiation oncologist, Dr. Laser.
Mr. Blackwell had an intermediate level of prostate cancer, meaning it could go either way. Here at Riverside, we have several ways that we can treat patients with radiation. The 2 most common ways are with IMRT, which we can use for both very early disease and some that's a little bit further progressed. We also have stereotactic radiosurgery, which is better for disease that's caught earlier, where the prostate is smaller. With Mr. Blackwell, he was given the choice, and we discussed the differences. The IMRT is done 5 days a week, Monday through Friday for 6 weeks. Radiation is delivered on a machine which we call a linear accelerator, which is basically electrons which are accelerated to near the speed of light, hitting a target and then producing high energy X-rays. Those high energy X-rays enter the body and deposit energy which is disruptive to the DNA of the cancer cells. Once all the cancer cells have died, the patient is then cancer-free.
It was really hard for me at first. I had a little side effect, a slight burning when I urinate. But other than that, I was able to work every day. There was no issue, no problem.
The IMRT has been in use for 20-some years, and we have data showing its effectiveness. It's well tolerated. It is preferable for some men to surgery in that it is less likely to cause impotence. I think radiation is one of the most powerful tools that we have in terms of our ability to kill the cancer cells. You need hope in order to have a pleasant life, despite the hurdles that cancer will throw at one.
Once I got into this atmosphere, I never really let my spirits go down any further than when it started from the beginning. Got started on that, I kind of felt a lot better, and a chip was off my shoulder, because basically on one side of my shoulder was life, other side of my shoulder was death.
Well, I will tell you that most everyone who completes a course of treatment here is grateful and thankful for the opportunities and the abilities that we have here to treat them.
It's very rewarding. At the end of the day, that's the most rewarding thing. Once we follow that patient over the course of their care, they get to the successful completion of treatment, and we know they're going to move on with their regular daily routine now.
Well, after everything, I'm 110% now. The staff that we had at Riverside was excellent, superb. Everybody was caring because they are like family to you and they treat you like family. And usually cancer, if you don't catch it early, it's more like a death sentence. So every man should go out and definitely get checked, no matter what.
Many prostate cancer patients, like Mr. Blackwell, respond quite well to radiation. But what if that is not the best treatment for you? Well, after the break, we'll see how another option, a high-tech robot, is saving lives.
We're Riverside Strong. At Riverside, we are here to keep you healthy and safe. We are here for you. For annual wellness visits, managing health conditions, or if you experience new health-related issues, difficulty breathing, memory loss, or symptoms you can't explain. Make your appointment today in our facilities or online. We are here when and where you need us. So don't delay your care, your health, or your wellness. Call or visit Riverside online to make your medical appointments today.
Welcome back to Riverside Strong. Today our focus is on prostate cancer, how to navigate it, and the types of treatments available. We've all heard of radiation therapy, hormone therapy, and chemotherapy, but there may be one option you haven't heard of: DaVinci surgery. This high-tech surgery combines the expertise of a surgeon with the precision of a computer.
Riverside Medical Group and Riverside Health System continues to invest in the community with acquisition and further development of, for instance, the robotic technology. The DaVinci surgery, it seems kind of new. However, we've been doing them here for just over 16 years. It's a laparoscopic surgery that is image guided. You put the laparoscopic ports in, you roll up your really cool machine, then you connect it to the ports, then the surgeon sits comfortably over in the corner and controls the camera and the instruments on the inside. You have 6 to 10 times working magnification. For prostate cancer, that's important because the prostate's way down in the pelvis. Robotically, you can zoom these small instruments and camera down to where you're working, and you have much less bleeding, much less pain, a much faster recovery time, and get back to your normal activities much sooner. You're home in a day. With the traditional open surgery, that was about a 3-week catheterization to allow that to heal. With the robotic surgery, instead of 4 or 5 stitches to tack it down, it looks like the stitching on a baseball. So it's a much more refined hookup. So they have a catheter in for a week. 3 weeks later, they should be close to about 90–95%. When Mr. Price was diagnosed, he presented with the PSA, and once we had done the biopsies, we had looked at scans to make sure that it had not gone anywhere else. And if the prostate cancer is contained to the prostate as much as we can tell, your primary options are some form of radiation therapy or to have the prostate removed. For Mr. Price, the treatment of taking the prostate out seemed to make the most sense because he was young, he was healthy, he had a very strong family history of prostate cancer.
My grandfather died of prostate cancer, and then my dad also had prostate cancer. When I think about my little girl, being around to see her get married and to see her grow up and become a woman, it was just really a big deal for me to go and get that screening.
men who should come to our screening are men who have a family history, especially of a father or brother or a son. Our prostate cancer screening begins with us just talking to them about the screening. After that initial education, they have a prostate-specific antigen blood draw. Then we take them back for a rectal exam done by the physician, and Mr. Price came in and had his screening, and he was later on diagnosed with prostate cancer.
I'm Donovan Price. I was diagnosed with prostate cancer September of 2019. I hadn't gone and gotten a PSA screening in a while. So I went in, got the screening. I think I got the results in about 4 or 5 days, and it was at a 4. I don't have any symptoms here, you know, what's going on? And he said the same thing. I don't see any issues. We could wait 3 months, or we could actually do another test in 2 weeks. And something told me, well, let's just go ahead and check it out and do another one in 2 weeks. It jumped up from 4 to a 5.9, and that really made the doctors say, oh, whoa, something's going on here. I went to a couple of other doctors and met with them. They went over the stuff about the traditional surgery. For my case, DaVinci surgery was the best alternative. The nerve sparing, the recovery time, and really Dr. Burgess too.
The primary reason why younger men tend to lean towards surgery is that if there is a recurrence, which 15 to 20% of men may have a recurrence after the primary treatment, there's still a radiation backup option. So they can have a second-line radiation treatment if the first therapy is not curative long-term. It is humbling to take care of those patients and to realize that you're actually treating people probably at one of the most vulnerable times in their lives. And when they come through it and they not only survive, but they thrive and they live the rest of their life, or at least years and years and years cancer-free, it does give you a really, really warm feeling that you're actually really making a difference in their life. I work very closely with our radiation oncology partners, the primary care doctors. We have an oncology steering committee. We have a robotics committee where we all get together and we all work toward one singular goal, especially in prostate cancer where there are many different treatment options. And one size doesn't fit all. And so we try to put the patient at the center of it. We want to take care of our patients like we would take care of people that we love. They get kind of down about learning of a prostate cancer diagnosis, and I try to reinforce that the bad thing is if we didn't find it.
A couple months ago, I did my PSA, my new base, which is a 0.01. The machine doesn't understand 0, so that is the lowest. Early detection is just kind of like the key. And I've heard that from other people over and over. Early detection, early detection. If I had done just a couple of things a little bit differently, things could have been very, very different right now for me. Go do it. Go do it for your wife. Go do it for your son, your daughter, because they want you to be around. I'm so blessed, I really am.
A great example of how advanced medical technology is helping in the fight against cancer. Thanks to Dr. Burgess and the DaVinci surgery, Mr. Price was able to get back on the path to a healthy, fulfilling life. Now that we've taken a closer look at how prostate cancer affects men's health issues, one thing is clear. Though prostate cancer diagnosis can be very common, it's also very treatable if detected early. So please, get screened. And remember, should you ever need them, the team at Riverside Cancer Care Center will be there to help you every step of the way. Until next time, stay healthy and stay informed with Riverside Strong.